There's really not much I can really say about this episode of Shangri-La Frontier. I believe it was short, sweet, and to the point. Now, granted, it wasn't necessarily short. It felt short. That was mainly because it made sure to address things that weren't happening to catch us up onto the present day. And I'm glad that they did that, because as we keep watching Sunraku as he keeps playing the game, and last week as he got more and more powerful, it is important that they go back and talk about the friends and what they've been up to after the weather gun fight, and if they're getting stronger and what they plan on doing. So I'm glad that they did have an episode like this right before we get into some intense stuff that's happening with Sunraku. But they also hint of what his other friends can be doing as well. Now, as the pro gamer is getting ready for Galaxia Heroes, I believe was the name of it. So the fact that he actually got into this game, you know, as reconnaissance, really, to learn more about how the whole system works as they get ready for the next pro game that's coming out. And of course, friends like Sunraku trying to suggest it as well. It makes sense why he went into this game. And the fact that we're seeing them progress as they get better and better with Shangri-La Frontier, I do see the fact that the next phase, of course, from the hints of the theme song and the ending, this new fighting game is coming out. I believe that's probably what's going to be the next phase, where we get episodes with Sunraku and the water quests that he's going to be doing against the Colossi. But then we also will probably get information with the pro gamer and Pistolgon, as they are probably going to get geared up and ready for this Galaxia game. But it's good to know why he was actually coming into it. And also Pentagon. I love the fact that they came in to let us know what is Sunraku's friends doing. But Sunraku's influence is being felt by each of the three groups that they showed in this episode. We got the pro gamer talking about Sunraku and how they want to make sure it's known that they are, you know, a pro gamer and better than Sunraku. But then you have Pentagon, who talks about Sunraku and totally bold-faced lies about what he knows about Lycagon, and it's just so that they can get weapons for free. And then you have the developers coming in, and the developers are like, oh, these three members took down Lycagon Shade, which I don't even know. Now that I think about it, with the whole fighting that they have been doing and such with each other, I don't even know if the developers put two and two together to know that Sunraku was a member of both the Weatherman fight and of Lycagon Shade's defeat. So it's like, okay, if they were so concerned about whether or not if people were worthy enough to fight it, it's like, wait a minute, have you guys not noticed that there's still one common denominator here? On top of that, to learn that the Shade was actually stronger than it should have been, because she upped the stats, so then that way the Shade is even, I don't know, more worthy. And it's like, wait a minute, you mean to tell me the Shade normally would be weaker than this, but they had to go out and do the Apocalypse move on top of it with all these other fights just to take it down, and it still didn't die per se? Like, remember when they took the Shade down, it's like half the face was still there, but then it was smiling, and it's like, wait a minute, hold up. So that's funny that the three of them plus the rabbits took down this even more powerful Shade than it should have been. But I do have to say, I'm glad that I want them to talk more about these developers or have more interactions with them, because yeah, just bringing them on whenever they defeat one of the Colossi, it's cute and funny, but let me know more. Let me know more about them, you know, kind of as the viewer. Let us know why they decided to do certain aspects of Shangri-La Frontier, you know, instead of we're taking it from Sunraku's point of learning the lore from the bottom up instead of the top down. You know, whichever way, okay. I mean, I just like information more than anything else, but however it gets to me, it gets to me. Pentagon and finding her purpose, which I didn't realize. I mean, I knew she liked that quest, but I didn't know her whole identity was tied to that quest. I mean, I was unaware that she wanted that quest completed so much so that really the whole reason kind of why she started playing or getting into it was because of this. And then now that she's done, she's like, what else is there? And thankfully they talked about the brooch, the thing that's on her head. Like, what does it do? Like, I remember her getting it as a reward, but I was like, what does it do? Now we know that it leads to something. And it's like, wait, you're sitting there thinking whether or not you should stop playing Shangri-La Frontier, yet you don't even know what the thing leads to? It's like, at least know that much or figure that much out. So now that she's kind of pointed towards a new goal, her next stage, I'm glad we did have an episode like this to kind of show. We got to see last week the power up of Sunraku. Now we kind of see the emotional power up of everybody else. So it's like, okay, they're not defeated. It's not over with. Let's see what they plan on doing from this point forward. So, hey, I'm ready for it. You know what? I'm ready for the next stage, the next arc, if you will. And now that we know not only Sunraku's path forward into the next arc, we know his friends and what their path is towards the next arc and their own phase of life. So we'll see what happens next week, and what they're probably going to go back to Sunraku, and maybe they'll, sprinkle in what his other friends are doing as well, but we shall see. Tell me what you guys think. Was it something you guys enjoyed as far as an episode? I think it was okay. I mean, it definitely is not like all the crazy fights that we've been seeing, but that's okay. I mean, we're still learning more about the world, learning more about other characters, so I'm okay with it. But definitely like the video, and make sure you guys are subscribed so you can see more information for this anime and several others. And of course, don't forget to hit that bell icon to be notified when a video comes up. In the meantime, you guys be safe, take care, and Lord willing, I'll see you next time. Bye for now.
This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.